A last-minute effort in Jacksonville to save taxpayers from an added tax. The city council member who offered an emergency bill to postpone the gas tax says...
So it's essentially like getting a new credit card, maxing out that credit card, and then saying, don't worry, I'm going to pay for it over the next 30 years.
The arguments for and against the gas tax going into effect in just weeks, and the reason lawmakers wouldn't pump the brakes. Also, less than a week from Christmas, another local relief valve for the supply chain crisis.
This is a big day for us because we have a ship that's come directly from China with critical goods that need to be on the shelves prior to Christmas.
The smaller local port seeing 4 years of investment payoff. And we'll get you ready for the legislative session in Florida. That's on This Week in Jacksonville. And thanks for joining us today. We will get to those topics in a moment. We start, though, with this week's big news from the Jacksonville Jaguars when early Thursday morning the team fired head coach Urban Meyer. That was following a 2-11 record in his first season that was accompanied by a series of off-the-field controversies. It also comes as Shad Khan marks 10 years of owning the franchise. Joining us this morning as we start with the broader impacts of the Jaguars, City Council member Leanna Cumber. Also, News4Jax sports editor Justin Barney. Justin, if you would start out on the conversation here. We kind of saw this coming because of those off-the-field situations, and then it kind of came to a head this week. What does Shad Khan and what do fans learn about how to be successful in the future?
You know, Kent, I think what they learn is they've already learned and gone through this before. How many times have we seen a coaching change? How many times have we heard promises that it's not going to be like this anymore? But I think this is probably the most disappointing week in Jaguars franchise history, and that's saying something for a franchise that is accustomed to disappointing weeks. Okay, this is probably the most disappointing time in Jacksonville's 27-year franchise history. The Jaguars haven't been able to score when Urban Meyer was coach, and they were just set up for so much excitement this season, you know, in Shad Khan's 10 years of ownership and, you know, the promises of a brighter future, that things may not change this year with coaching-wise. Shad Khan has been a very patient owner, and that all came to a head when on Wednesday we heard news about Josh Lambo's issues with Urban Meyer. He had been kicked by the coach, and it just seems like one bad story after another. For the focus right now for the Jaguars, for Shad Khan, for this franchise, is turning the page on Urban Meyer and focusing on what they can do to best help out Trevor Lawrence going forward.
Yeah, Justin, I appreciate that. Before I let you go, what was in the statement from the owner of the Jaguars was bitterly disappointed about having to fire the coach. How do you avoid that bitter disappointment in the future? Fans are dying for a winner.
Yeah, they've been dying for a long time for a winner, Kent, and they thought so much about the season would be different. You have Trevor Lawrence coming in. You had the most decorated college football coach in recent memory, and Urban Meyer coming into play. You know, that's just one mistake after another. And I think the word bitterly disappointed is just kind of the tip of the iceberg for Shad Khan. This is his hand-picked coach to lead the reset of the organization. As recently as April, he said, I got it right this time with the Urban Meyer hire. So that word bitterly disappointed kind of hits the nail on the head for Shad Khan and just how disappointing it was to have to cut Urban Meyer loose after just 13 games. But that focus now shifts to the future and how can Jacksonville get better in 2022 and take advantage of Trevor Lawrence's prime years.
Yeah, Justin Barney, our sports editor at News4Jax, thanks for your comments. Leanna Cumber, so what City Council has done over these years, even prior to you being voted onto the council, lots of support, not just for the Jaguars, but this specific owner, Shad Khan, over these last 10 years. And he's tried to do some things to develop not just the organization, but, hey, develop the property and downtown. How does this sit with you that there's another kind of fallen piece of the puzzle here for the Jaguars?
Well, I'm glad that Shad Khan took the step to fire Urban Meyer. I had made it clear after what happened in Ohio and how he treats women that I thought he should have been fired then. So I'm glad that that's happened and that it's time to reset. But I don't think that those issues really need to be conflated with the development that's going on. Or, you know, I can assure you, Urban Meyer was not in my calculation on whether or not I think that the sports area needs to be developed and that Shad Khan and his team can really put in the investment that's needed along with the city.
It's tough because there's a component of, hey, whether the team is above 500, going to the playoffs, having a down year, that doesn't matter in some ways to, hey, we need to develop the property. Eventually, and the mayor's talked about this, eventually the stadium has to be improved in order to keep that NFL team here. But it's pretty important to keep an NFL team here. There are only 30 of them, 30 plus. So it's something that I think there's a lot of scrutiny about it, right?
Yeah, I think that's right. And look, it always helps if people are winning. So
solves a lot of problems.
Solves a lot of problems. Getting a winning team on the field, I think, is would be very helpful to all of us and to the city. And I'm sure that Shad and his team are working hard to make sure that the reset happens after this season, and we can get to a place where everyone can get very excited again. But like I said, I'm glad that the step was taken, because it really was, the treatment that Urban Meyer was, was doing, and what he was doing with the woman up in Ohio, I think was really beyond the pale. So I'm glad to see that this has happened.
So let's turn to another topic from City Hall. So in May, the Jacksonville City Council approved an increase and extension of the local option gas tax. It went from 6 cents to 12 cents. That takes effect here in just a couple weeks, January. This week, a handful of lawmakers, including you, talked about this. You introduced a bill that would have either repealed it or postponed it, or how would you describe this, and why was that important to you? Ultimately, it failed, but we can talk about that in a moment.
Right, so it was a straight repeal. It's not a postponement. I don't think kicking it down the can, or kicking the can down the road, is really the solution on the city level, because it hadn't been, the tax has been doubled, and it will come into effect, as you said, January 1st. So we had an opportunity now to repeal it. Once it's been bonded out, the only thing that we could arguably do is what Governor DeSantis is doing, and I really applaud his effort in kind of postponing it, and that's what they're doing. He's trying to do on the state level. Yeah. Locally, we had the opportunity this week to actually repeal it, and that didn't happen. So January 1st, even if we say that fuel prices stay static from today until January 1st, everyone in Jacksonville will still be paying more per gallon on January 1st because of what happened in City Hall.
It was 6 cents per gallon, the gas tax. It'll go to 12 cents. Right. Gas prices have been rising ever since the council voted there in May. Other prices have risen as well. So did that change at all what you thought about, hey, we need to stop this, or did it just reinforce your initial opposition to the gas tax?
Yeah, I mean, look, it reinforced my initial opposition. I think what I was hoping that my colleagues would see is really the landscape changed. Before, or back in May, Congress had not passed the $1.2 trillion infrastructure package. They had not, and Congress is looking at another $2 trillion. The city will be getting $171 million into the bank account in May from ARP funding, from COVID funding from the federal government. And then we will be able to avail ourselves to the infrastructure dollars. So that had changed. And so what I was hoping that my colleagues would see is the gas tax is the most regressive tax that you can have. So the poorest among us, it impacts them the most. But it also became very clear that there are other ways to pay for the infrastructure needs that we have. We don't need to say, I need to pick more money out of your pocket to pay for sidewalks. Yeah,
the proposal there that was approved back in May, hey, over 30 years, some $960 million would come in. That's the projection. I want to read the mayor's statement following this vote on Tuesday night. He said, "Thank you to the city council for joining me in a commitment to every neighborhood, every family, to make our city better for the next generation. That means investing in our parks, roadways, the infrastructure that makes our city work. I believe in keeping promises. To ensure that happens, we have identified the revenue needed to make these investments. We were all elected to make the tough choices. That's what it takes to build a better Jacksonville." What's your reaction to what the mayor said there?
Well, my reaction is I have a better quote from the mayor that he tweeted out saying, "Paying for gas in your car and paying for groceries for your kids is now painful. Pay, pay, pay." So you can't have it both ways. Yes, he's absolutely right. Paying for gas is now painful, but you have to take ownership of that. It's more painful now because of what we've done. And so you can't complain about inflation, and people can't say, I support what Governor DeSantis is doing, and then the next day turn around and say, oh, but here we're going to actually double it and make it worse for you.
Yeah. Leanna Cumber, I appreciate it. Council member from Jacksonville, thanks for the time today.
Thank you.
All right, so just ahead as we close in on Christmas, a local port offering assistance. We're getting a look at the impact of Fernandina and speaking with one of the leaders there. That's next on This Week in Jacksonville.
My clients are everyday people. My opponents are universally insurance companies or large companies. You have us on your side and they're gonna have their lawyers. And this is one situation where it's a fair fight.
I didn't have to shout out for help.
Because you didn't have another DVT. Not today. One blood clot put you at risk of having another. So we chose Xarelto to help keep you protected.
Xarelto is proven to treat and reduce the risk of DVT or PE blood clots from happening again. Almost 98% of people did not have another DVT or PE. Don't stop taking Xarelto without talking to your doctor, as this may increase risk of blood clots. While taking, a spinal injection increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis. You may bruise more easily or take longer to stop bleeding. Xarelto can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines. Get help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising. Don't take Xarelto if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures and any kidney or liver problems. Help protect yourself from another DVT or PE. Ask your doctor about Xarelto. To learn more about cost, visit Xarelto.com or call 1-888-XARELTO.
For those ready to answer adventure's highest calling, we've built our most capable Subaru yet. With sure-footed symmetrical all-wheel drive, 9.5 inches of ground clearance, and turbocharged climbing power. Discover Adventure Elevated, the all-new 2022 Subaru Outback Wilderness.
Get a new Subaru and Subaru will donate $250 to charity during the Subaru Share the Love event.
The morning show on Channel 4, #1, 9 straight years and counting.
Every morning, see just how many local stories cover news that impact your family.
Watching and tracking the changes in the weather so you can plan your day.
Getting you around tie-ups of time-saver traffic.
Getting you ready for the day ahead.
Saving you money and alerting you to scams and ripoffs with Consumer Reports.
You just gotta see it.
We'll get your day started right.
The morning show on Channel 4 makes mornings happen. You're watching This Week in Jacksonville with Kent Justice.
The Port of Fernandina Beach is working to relieve some of the supply chain backup during the holiday season. Sky 4 flew above the port this week as crews were unloading a ship. We're told that ship could have been stuck for weeks trying to get into another port. These items are going to go to a sporting goods chain just in time for someone else to put them under the Christmas tree. The port's goal now to bring in even more ships. And another ship, we're told, is already scheduled for this coming week. Port officials saying that there are enough truckers and workers here to get the goods unloaded and eventually delivered to where they need to go. So we are joined today in studio by Chris Ragucci, the Chief Executive for Worldwide Terminals, which is the operator of the Port Fernandina. And Chris, I was telling you before we started our interview, I'm really excited to hear some of the story here. I think it's really interesting. Tell me about this particular shipment and maybe even why it's notable for the port right now.
Well, it's really a culmination of efforts we've been hard at over the last 4 years to reinvest, modernize, and equip Fernandina for the modern 21st century logistics world. And so we find ourselves where this ship was destined for Savannah. Some of the stores were in the Savannah area, but couldn't get in there because the mega ships are tied up waiting. And so we were able to reach out, and they talked with us briefly, and they said, can we bring the ship? And we said, come on down, we're ready. And we really were ready. The ship was discharged immediately upon arrival, and we had it back at sea within a day.
That's a win-win for that shipping company and for you at the port, right?
And for the port, and for all of those shippers whose goods will actually make it to the shelves now in time for Christmas.
It's far different scale than Jacksport, but tell me about how Fernandina affects the local area and the economy there.
Well, it has a similar effect in that all ports generate initially the jobs, the direct jobs, but ports also generate indirect and induced jobs. For instance, with Fernandina, we've expanded our workforce to over 60 full-time people, plus 30 part-time people, And just the payroll and the benefits are over $5 million on an annual basis. That has a multiplier effect in the community of more than $10 million in respending and local consumption. And then if you add in all of the vendors and people that at the mills who our products go to, there's another $30 million in annual impact in Nassau County. It's very, very impressive. It's an economic driver in Nassau County, for sure.
Well, one of the things we've heard with supply chain crisis and in general across the country, since pandemic especially, so many employers having a tough time getting and then keeping workers. So what's the current situation with Port of Fernandina?
Well, we've had a challenging year in 21 with that. In the summer, I think, was the worst of it for all of us in the region and really throughout the United States in almost every industry. But by the fall, for us at least, it started to loosen up. We've been adding new workers at a pace of 2 or 3 per month, and we have a half a dozen jobs unfilled right now, as a matter of fact. And we think the wage inflation and the where we have this competition for quality workers, and also the DeSantis administration balancing of the unemployment benefits for the workers versus keeping the employers able to find people. It's been a great combination. And we're now, as I say, growing our workforce again, and we can see our workforce more than doubling over the next 5 years.
Well, I want to talk about some of the growth, a lot of growth over the past just couple of years at the Port of Fernandina. You shared some figures with us. The tonnage figures went from 195,000 in 2019 to the projected 21 figure of 414,609. So 112% growth. And then looking at average trucks per day, that's gone from 16 in 2019 to a projected 46 in 2021. So just that growth figure, that's 189%. And Chris, I'm told that the port really was kind of on the verge of bankruptcy just a few years ago. So this is rising from the ashes. This is a big turnaround, right?
It certainly is, and we appreciate you looking at those figures. Even in a growth economy like we have, it's very impressive. And it took really some initial financial engineering. The port was saddled with the Port Authority was saddled with some old debt, and it was preventing new investment. But we knew the infrastructure was solid. So we were able to come in a little less than 4 years ago now, and we were able to make those investments, refinance the old debt, and we just brought proactive, aggressive marketing and a passion for customer service and for our workers, and here we are. You know, we've invested over $10 million in the last 3.5 years in partnership with the state, with Florida DOT and our local Port Authority. And basically, we've managed to modernize the facility to where we have the deep water, we have the new equipment, cranes, and all the things that we need to now be a player in our own small way in the global logistics field.
Yeah, maybe final 30 seconds there. These jobs you're talking about, new jobs, good paying jobs, right?
Very high paying jobs. I think we showed you a graphic where our average wage with benefits is just under $80,000 a year. And that blows away the median county wages and the minimum wages in the county. And we have all the benefits, as I said, and we have families. These are living wages. They raise their kids. They are able to pay for college. It's very exciting to be part of that.
It's a beautiful place to live in Nassau County and Fernandina and everything, too. So
it really is.
Chris Ragucci, appreciate it. Thanks for sharing the story there.
It's my pleasure, Ken. Thank you for allowing us to do it.
All right. Well, stay with us. Elected state lawmakers, they've been in meetings this fall, and now get ready for the hard work of the winter. Fleming Island's Sam Garrison will join us next on This Week in Jacksonville.
Veterans, you may have earned a variety of VA benefits. Did you know VA can help you further your education and pursue professional training? The Home Loan Guarantee Program can help you buy, repair, or adapt a home. VA provides housing support if you find yourself homeless or at risk of homelessness. And don't forget world-class healthcare. Learn more about these and other VA benefits. Visit choose.va.gov.
No matter what year it is or what season it is, Subaru of Jacksonville has made giving back to the community a priority. So of course, when the Subaru Share the Love event comes around, we find a way to go bigger. During the event, Subaru donates to charities with every new car purchase. But we want to make a bigger local impact. Subaru of Jacksonville is matching that donation to equal $500, plus another $5 for every Subaru vehicle routine service visit. Make a difference with us. Visit Subaru of Jacksonville today to give back.
Drive a Subaru. You'll buy a Subaru.
Oh, I missed you.
You just want to video call the kids.
Okay. Hush, little baby.
Don't say a word.
But if slow upload speeds turn your good night call into an accidental horror movie,
Can you hear me?
Shut it down.
just remember, you're not a bad mom. You just need better internet.
AT&T Fiber delivers faster upload speeds for more reliable video calls. Get AT&T Fiber, plan starting at $35 a month for a year. Limited availability in select areas. Call 1-877 only ATT.
Well, hello, Winn-Dixie. You hear that, bro? No, what is it? It's the most rewarding time of the year. Drop that jingle! Deck our carts with lots of winning. Winn-Dixie meats have got us grinning. Fa la 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 la. All the freshest picks before us. Fa la 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 la. Earn rewards and join the chorus. Fa la 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 la. Thanks to you for points and savings. Fa la 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 la. Whoa, we forgot the rolls. I'll get them. I got both kinds. Perfect feast for all our cravings. Fa la 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 la. Fa la 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 la. Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win.
Don't let the insurance companies play around with your future. At Farah & Farah, we've been protecting you and your family since 1979. Farah & Farah.
You're watching This Week in Jacksonville on Channel 4.
Florida's legislative session spans 60 days. It begins January 11th. So joining us right now for the first time on our show is State Representative Sam Garrison, elected from Fleming Island, just recently 2020, representing District 18. I wanted to ask you, Governor DeSantis, even this week, made some news of promoting a bill that he wants to pass. He calls it the Stop Woke Act to ban critical race theory. And in some ways, even the name seems a bit divisive there. How do you feel about that effort?
Well, first and foremost, like any piece of legislation, you like to see it and read it. So this was announced a couple days ago. We'll have a chance when we get back to Tallahassee for session in a couple weeks to look at the details and see exactly what the governor's proposing. But in general, I think the governor is right where not just the majority of Republicans, but also blue-collar Democrats and most independents are on this issue. There's a general understanding. Folks just don't particularly care for this sort of stuff. They don't want to see it in Florida's institutions. So I think, generally speaking, I think the governor's on point. Like I said, we'll have to see the details when we get to Tallahassee.
Yeah, I know you and your colleagues from the House and the Senate have been working in committees all through the fall here. I saw you filed House Bill 287, and as I understand it, it's going to make tampering with or fabricating evidence a second-degree felony in a criminal trial, proceeding, or investigation relating to felonies. So this bill would close what I saw you called a long-standing loophole. What is that, and why is this bill important?
Yeah, Ken, before coming to Tallahassee, I was a prosecutor with the State Attorney's Office for 10 years in Jacksonville and Green Cove Springs, and prosecuted homicides and sex crimes and things like that. What we saw is, over the years, the courts have come up with an understanding that capital cases are different. They're the most serious cases we have on the books, and as a result, because the stakes are so high, the laws that relate to both tampering with evidence and for perjury should be equally high. A number of years ago, the legislature passed a law that said if you lie, commit perjury in an investigation or trial involving a capital offense, it's a second-degree felony as opposed to a third. In other words, saying that for these particular cases where the stakes are so high, oftentimes life and death, that the integrity of the evidence is really important and critical. And with technology and the advent of technology, what we're seeing now when you talk to prosecutors and you talk to homicide detectives in JSO and Clay County Sheriff's Office and others, you're seeing more and more a rise in the tampering with evidence, altering of evidence in these serious cases. So we want to try to put a stop to it and make sure the punishment for those offenses in capital cases are commensurate with the crime.
Yeah, raise it to the same level.
Exactly.
What's your view on, speaking of high stakes, what's your view on some of the stuff that's been happening both nationally with anti-abortion laws, even to the point that the Supreme Court is considering, they heard arguments a few weeks ago about this Mississippi law. The reason I ask that is because it sounds like Florida may consider a kind of an anti-abortion law or some regulation there. It may be coming here in this legislative session.
Well, there's two issues. Number one, the Florida House has really been a leader, not just here in the state, but also nationally in terms of pro-life legislation over the last generation. If you look back throughout the last 10, 15 years, since 20 years since we've had Republican control of the legislature, you see a regular effort to advance those issues, ultimately, change hearts and save lives. It's an interesting time, as you mentioned, with the Supreme Court case that's currently pending and that we'll probably have a ruling on this summer. I think in all likelihood, you're seeing more and more of a trend towards legislatures having the opportunity to craft legislation that deals with this. Personally, as a lawyer, I think that's, put aside the policy for a second, whether you're pro-life, pro-choice. As a legal argument, I think these tough decisions should be made by the legislature. That's why we're elected. We're a representative democracy. And so I think we're going to be faced with a number of issues on this front and others going down in the years to come. But for this year, I would expect Speaker Sprowls and President Simpson have been very upfront in saying that we will likely have some pro-life legislation, as we do most every year, coming down the pipe. How that will be impacted by the current state of the Supreme Court's ruling is hard to tell because we're all kind of waiting to see what that is. But I expect you will see some action in that area.
Yeah, and like you said, we're waiting too. We're watching. The Supreme Court may offer its ruling on this by June, as I understand it. On Capitol Hill, there's been a lot of discussion of an infrastructure bill, social infrastructure bill as well. How would you see that money affecting your district and Northeast Florida as it comes our way?
It's hard to say because, as you know from following these sorts of things, the details on the federal money are very scant. Not a whole lot of specific information that we have. I know from a budget standpoint, from the legislature, at least the House's perspective, is we don't budget it. We don't count on it. If there's federal money that comes in at the end of the day, we'll make sure to address that when it comes. But you don't count on money from D.C. Because you'll probably be disappointed at some point. So we take care of our own house. And we'll worry about D.C. If and when that becomes an issue.
Yeah. Maybe our final minute together, but as I mentioned, just elected in 2020. How was that first legislative session process for you? How has it been going for you? Because it's been different because of the pandemic.
Yeah, we had an interesting situation. Our first year in the legislature was the COVID year, right? Yeah. So this will be the first time getting back up in the Capitol and kind of having the hustle and bustle that traditionally is associated with the legislative session. It's been wonderful. I'll tell you, it is, I'm not just saying this for hyperbole, it truly is the honor of a lifetime to walk into the House chamber for that first time, see 119 of your colleagues around you that represent all corners of the state. I mean, for a blue-collar kid from East Peoria, Illinois, it's a heck of an honor.
How about that? Yeah, and lots of pomp and circumstance right at the beginning, and then you're reminded, oh yeah, lots of work to do in 2 months or less. The biggest of those is the budget. Sam Garrison, what a pleasure, State Representative from Fleming Island. Thanks for being here today.
It's a pleasure, Ken. Thank you.
All right. So we have been reaching out to several of our local lawmakers ahead of the legislative session. We will, in the next couple of weeks, look at the top stories of the year and what to expect in 2022 as well. This Week in Jacksonville airs each Sunday morning at this time. I'm Cat Justice. Thanks for watching on air on Channel 4 and the CW17 at noon on Sundays and online at news4jax.com.
See why every day more people are choosing News 4 Jax, Northeast Florida and South Georgia's #1 source for local news.